So hi everyone, good morning and good evening. So first of all, welcome to the DGC Expert Connect session webinar. So we have been conducting this webinar for quite some time, very regularly. So tonight we have the episode 17 of Expert Connect sessions, and tonight we have our speaker Sudip Chakravorty. He's a Dynamics 5 solution consultant and architect. So he's going to present on topic automation with Power Apps, AI Builder, MS Flow, and Dynamics 5. So it is a very interesting topic. So let me talk a little bit about Dynamics 5 global community, which is nothing but DGC. So we started DGC back in December 2018 with the intention of having a community dedicated for all Dynamics 5 consultant professionals as well as customers. And we have participants from all over the world, from different continents. And we have been conducting webinars very religiously on the second and fourth Wednesdays of every month. So we have had very interesting sessions so far on different topics. In fact, Sudip also conducted multiple sessions on Dynamics 5 portal in the past. And then we had sessions from many other experts on Dynamics 5, Salesforce comparison, and the security part of Dynamics 5. Even I conducted a few sessions on Power Platform, as well as on Microsoft Flow, then Power BI, multiple sessions on Power Platform. And we have very core topics on Dynamics 5 and Salesforce Navigator with Dynamics 5, all this kind of topics we had. So our last session was on was a discussion on Power Platform and what was the benefits, as well as how the development is going to change in the future with the help of Power Platform. That was our last webinar. And tonight we have the topic from Sudip. And our next session will be on a different topic, of course, on the which will be on the second week of November. So that's about DGC. So we have been conducting webinars very religiously, and I'm also inviting everyone who is interested to share their knowledge for the community, and also anyone who would like to be part of DGC. We are all welcome. So yeah, a few things about a few tips in terms of attending the sessions. So this session will be of 45 minutes. So normally it will start from 8:30 p.m. IST to 9:15. That would be 11 to 11:45 a.m. EST, if I'm not wrong. So, and then the session will be conducted for 30 minutes out of it, and then we'll have a Q&A session after it. And I request every participant to just mute your lines while the presenter is presenting the topic. And towards the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A, so everyone can just switch on their mic and ask the questions. And every session will be recorded. That's the reason we are asking everyone to be muted. And then we will be posting this recording of this session on our YouTube channel. So you can just search for DGC on YouTube, then LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. You'll be able to see the recordings of the session as well as the update. And also you can join the mailing list. We'll be mailing everyone. Every time we'll take the registration and we'll be sharing the content. And again, if anyone like to be part of DGC and like to present topics, you are very welcome. Okay, so yeah, the recording of this session also will be uploaded to YouTube channel. Okay, so tonight is the episode 17 of DGC Expert Connect session. Once again, Sudip Chakravorty is going to present the topic tonight. So over to you, Sudip.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening. Thank you for joining this session. I'm Sudip Chakravorty, and today I'll be talking about Power Apps, AI Builder, and Microsoft Flow. How we can automate a business process using these three technology stack. And a quick introduction about me. I have around 15 years of Microsoft Technologies experience with close to 11 years of Microsoft Dynamics focused experience. I'm working on Dynamics CRM since 2008, and I have worked on different versions of Dynamics from 4.0 to 365. So today's agenda is basically we are going to talk a little bit about Microsoft Power Platform, the Power Apps AI Builder, which is a new feature that is still in preview, then the model-driven app, the Microsoft Flow, and there is a interesting business scenario, and then we are going to do a hands-on demonstration on that business scenario, and we are going to compare, if we have to do this on a different technology stack, like .NET, and if we have to do the same thing in Microsoft Power Platform, then how can we do that? And towards the end, we will have a question answer session. And I'm putting this in the agenda because I'm going to use all these 3 or 4 technology stack in the hands-on some demonstration. So, so the Microsoft Power Platform is basically, I would say, a collective term of 3 Microsoft products. One is the Power BI, Power Apps, and the Flow. Power BI is used for the business analytics, and Power Apps is for application development. Power Apps has 2 different flavors. One is the Canvas app, and another one is the model-driven app. And we are going to talk about the model-driven app in the later slide. And Flow is basically for automating the business process. And within the Power Apps flagship, they have data connectors, AI Builder, and Common Data Service. So today we are going to also use the AI Builder and the Common Data Service, and of course the data connectors. So a little bit about, this Power Platform is a single technology stack, basically to rapidly build apps, and you can easily manipulate, automate, or analyze data. And it can be used with Office 365 and also with Dynamics 365, as well as any other third-party apps or legacy apps. The Common Data Service, or CDS, which is actually the underlying data platform that provides a unified and simplified data schema so that applications and the services can actually interoperate. So basically, the Microsoft Power Platform brings all the data, together into a common data model. Little bit about Common Data Service. Common Data Service is basically a secure database which is hosted in Azure cloud, pre-built with some the standard set of entities or record types, you can say. These record types are, for example, accounts, contacts, and various other activity types, which are of course customizable, and you can add additional data fields to it. Developers can also create new entities to fit the business needs. Entities also have the relationship with each other, and business rules can create the make field required or hide fields and some other validation that is needed. So that is all about Common Data Service. Let's go to slide 5. All right. So the AI Builder is basically a new capability on the Power Platform, which allows you to easily automate the processes and predict the outcomes to help improve business performance. AI Builder is a solution that brings the power of AI through the point-and-click experience. And using the AI Builder, you can add intelligence to your apps, even if you have no coding or data science skills. So that is all about AI Builder. So let's take a look at the AI Builder. So if you log into your default organization, basically the CDS, you will see on the left-hand side there is AI Builder capability added. And so the high level, let's talk about now how the high level process, how to create a model and how to build a model and how can we train the model. So they are basically, the high level is basically you have to select a model type, like, these are the model types. We have four of them here. And then connect the model to data and configure the model, train the model, and publish and use the model. So those are the high level process to basically build a AI model. On today's session, we are going to talk about the form processing. By the way, we are not going to talk others. So there are a couple of more. There are a few more capabilities available. So there are the supported scenarios are basically binary classification, text classification, and object detection and form processing. As you see, the binary classification is basically this model can predict yes and no type of outcomes from by looking into a historical data. And the text classification is basically the AI has the capability to automatically tag the text by learning the previous models or previous data that we have supplied. And the object detection is basically the machine can actually detect an object and basically identify the object, and it can locate the object. The form processing, which is basically a vision type of model, and object or detection is also vision type of model. So let's talk about a use case, which is a real use case, by the way. I worked on this use case a few weeks ago. However, I have not used the Microsoft platform to it. I have used a custom solution. And that's why that's what makes me think, then how can we do it in the Microsoft Power Platform? So there is a practice. When I say practice, means this is a doctor's clinic, and that practice, and it uses a system called electronic medical record system, where he basically keeps the patient's data, and that could be any kind of data, which is basically appointments with the patient, it is the insurance information, medical history of the patient, and etc., etc. But that EMR system cannot notify the the patient for the upcoming appointment, or asking for the payment for the visit they had, and collect the insurance money from them, or whatever. It's not that EMR does not have the facility. So the practice comes to us. To Unilink is the company. It comes to us and say that, okay, I like your idea that because Unilink can send the notification to the recipients of the provider. So they asked that, can you integrate with the EMR and send the notifications? So unfortunately, the EMR that they are using, it does not have integration capability. It's quite a legacy app. It means that it is not exposed outside the world using the web API or web services. So then the practice comes back and says that if I give you this PDF statements, so basically this this appointments where there is a visit, there's a statement, the billing statements that has been generated by the EMR. So this practice says that if I give you the billing statements and also the recipient data from that I can extract from the EMR in the CSV and the PDF, will you be able to send the notification and send me back the status in the EMR? So to do this, I see there is a high-level solution is basically, and another problem was this PDF doesn't have the phone number or anything in it. It has only the account number, and the CSV is the one which is the recipient details, which has the phone numbers and everything about the patient. So the relationship between the PDF and CSV is only the account number, which is the common one between CSV and PDF. So to do this in .NET, you basically have to set up a practice account in the system, then you have to import the data from the patient, and you have to create a SMTP folder so that because we want to automate this process, right? So we wanted to have a SMTP folder, which is a secured folder where the PDFs can be uploaded from those billing statements can be uploaded into the folder. And then I have to create a console app, which can basically on demand goes and picks whenever there's a file dropped in that SMTP folder, it can basically pick up that PDF and then extract the text from that PDF, and then so that it can, I have to use a third-party library. So for example, like iTextSharp or PDFTechlib. And once I can extract that account number, then I can go back to Unilink, means where the recipient's data is, and I have to fetch the phone number from it. And then I have to create the CSV file out of it. Because this is a payment data, I have to do a proofread because OCRs are not foolproof. And this is a payment data, so we have to be very careful. So I have to split the output will be a CSV record with all the payment records that is going to be sent out to the patients. Now I have to take that CSV after the proofread and put it back in Unilink, and then I have to integrate with the system vendor who can send the notification, for example, Twilio. We are actually using Twilio. And then when whatever the status comes back from the text, the recipient basically responded, I have to take it back and put it in the Unilink, and then I have to send it back to the EMR. So this, I can see the high level 11 steps to do this. So let's see how we can do that in Microsoft Power Platform. So these 11 steps that I listed here, I labeled them here. How can we do that? So first is basically set up a practice account, which basically it's nothing. We have to create an account in Dynamics. So let's say the Unilink system is built in Dynamics. And so first we create account record in Dynamics. Let's say the name of the practice is called Practice INC. We create that, we give the details, the demographics and everything. We set up the account. Now we already know that the CRM has the capability let me show you the recipient. So basically, let's go and see the. I already have created the account. Now I have to import the contacts, which is basically the patients, which will be related to that account. So I already have I have extracted the CSV has been given to us with the list of the patient, and for the time being, I keep the phone number to me so that accidentally I do not send text messages to the real customer. And then the name of the company and the practice phone number is basically the practice the practice phone number. All you have to do is basically you have to drag that file here, and let me put that. And once you do that, you basically have to map the data. So for example, I did that, click next, and I do the default mapping, I do this, and I have to basically say I have to create new, then which entity I have to do that. So I have to create a new contact. So where is that? Then I would say, then I just have to map it. Okay, so I can map the fields. For example, account number is basically from the CSV file. Okay, it's gone. So after you mapping that, you can basically have the contacts in the contacts table of CRM. And once that is done, the next step is basically we already did the first and second. Now we have to create a SharePoint site, which is basically SMTP folder that we talked about in the previous slide, to create a securely upload a number of PDF format. So I created a PDF statement sitemap SharePoint folder here, which is available in our organization. And then basically now we have now the SharePoint is available, and I can drop the PDFs here. So I also have the PDFs that is given from the practice. I have like 92 of them here. All of them are available here. And before I go to this process, I have to basically train the system so that it can extract the data from it. So let's go back and create a model out of it. So let's say I have to give a name. Let's say it's a billing statement. And it says that, to train this model, to create this model and train this model, I have to give at least 5 documents, but more is better. So let's say I create it. And then I'm going to drop 33 of them. Sorry. Add documents, and let me see. Let's say I add these maybe. Okay, so I'm going to upload this 48 documents to train the model, and it is going to take some time. While this is uploading, and I will show you my other model that I have already created. So the upload is complete. I close it. Now I have to select the fields from this document. So, okay, because I have more than 50, that's why. So I have to basically go back and create it one more time. I will take only 10:15 now. Okay. So let's say I use only 10 of them. All right. Okay, 13. Now it is analyzing the document, and it is going to read out, it is going to predict the fields in those PDFs. So while it is training, I want to show you the one that I have already created, like AI model. So if I open this, and this is how the PDF looks like. It has the statement, account number, amount due, and the name of the patient, and the details, and some provider phone number is here. Then I use this PDF statement, and you can see the details. I have used 27 documents to train this, and I have selected 4 fields from this document that I have uploaded. And those are basically statement date, account number, amount due, and balance due. So let's see if it is done. All right, so now I have to select the fields from it. So it can read, this AI model can read the statement, the account number, and the amount due, and other things. So, and if you see, when it's 100% means, it is very confident that it can take out, or it can pick the amount from this statement. There are also a couple of low of them, like 60%, 30% of them you can see. So right now all of them are 100%. So when it is done, then basically you can select the fields. So for example, I need only the statement, amount due, and account number, like this. So I can select them, and I can done, and then 3 fields selected. And now I can just train the model, and it will basically say that I'm going to use only 3 statements. So this is from the model that I have created now, but from the past that I created, I have 4 of them. And now, so this part is done, that, extraction of the fields. So that is done. Now, how can I use this model to create a console app? And it can basically, whenever the PDF is dropped in the Unilink, it can basically pick up that file and extract the data. So for that, I have to use the flow. And for that, I have used a flow which is called extract PDF document, PDF statement data out of it. So let me see what are the steps here. I click on it. So the first thing, basically, what I want is basically whenever a file is created in a folder. So there is a connector already available in Flow, which is called SharePoint. Whenever a SharePoint connector, which says that when a file is created in a folder, I use that. I have to give this the address of my SharePoint, and if there is a particular folder, then I have to use give the folder name here. And then there is a action called predict, which is only available as a premium service, and you can use that predict service. And then you have to basically, when you create that action, it basically gives you all the models that you have created. For example, I have created in the past, which is PDF statements, which are published, by the way. So it will basically pick up the published models. So PDF statement is one of them. I use that. And there is a peculiar kind of JSON object or JSON object that I have to pass for the request payload, which is basically, this is a format which is given here in Microsoft website here, that you have to use for the PDF document. You have to use like this. So, and this base64 is basically nothing. It's basically the file content of that PDF. And once you pass that, there is another action that you have to do. Once the body is returned in the JSON format, you basically have to parse the JSON. And the JSON that we are going to parse is basically, it is coming in the request payload field. So that's why we're saying that in the content is in the response payload field. And there is a schema that you can get out of when you are going to use a sample data or PDF. It gives you the schema, and you just have to upload that to generate the schema. And once that is done, you can create another connector, which is basically creating the CSV file for proof for the proofread. We are basically going to create a record in the CDS so that a user can basically proofread it. So I have already created a CDS which is called the entities. The PDF statements entity. That is it's called statements entity, and that statement entity has, let me show you, has a couple of fields that I have created, which is basically statement ID, full name, account number, statement date, and amount due. And let me go back here. So this part is done. It can analyze the SharePoint, the PDF dropped in the SharePoint, the flow picks up, analyze the data, and extract the data and put it in the common data service. The next thing is basically I have to create another flow so that it can fetch the phone number from the Dynamics using the account number from that common data service, and basically send the message to the phone number. So for that, I have another one. So the deliver text flow. So basically I'm saying that whenever a record is created in the CDS, you just check first that if the account number and the amount due and the statement is populated or not. If not, then there is no point to send the text message. So terminate it. And if it is available, then basically go and fetch the phone number from the contacts record, where I'm using the filter query, the account number that I received from the CDS, and I'm basically saying that go and this is the schema of the Dynamics. And the top count is 1. If you find more than 1, just take the first one, and then basically go ahead and use the value that you received from the previous action, and basically send the text message to that mobile number that you fetched from the Dynamics. And also use the full name from the Dynamics, because we are not taking the full name from the PDF statement. And this basically account number is helping me to get all the data for that contact record, like mobile phone number, full name, and practice phone number, like we have here, mobile, practice phone number. And then it basically sends the message. And once the message is sent, I'm also checking if the message is sent at all or not. So that gives so the Twilio gives a message ID that has been sent. If there is a successful, then it is not null, and if it is unsuccessful, then it's null. So I'm checking that, and after that, when I receive that, then I'm basically updating the record, saying that in the CDS, saying that because in the CDS I don't have the full name and a practice number, so I'm basically updating that, and I'm also saying that the text has been delivered. So to show you let me take all the B's, the whole thing. I drop it here. It is going to create, and okay, it's uploading the document. And let me see if it drops or not. Okay, so the PDFs are dropped. This flow should kick off now. I should see how many? 10 of them. So at least I would see 10 of the records here that the flow actually ran 10 times. Okay, so I picked up 2 of them. It is running. It means this one is now have some data. So it has 3 of them now. And you see the full name is not there, and the text status is scheduled. And there is no practice phone number. All right. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has been sent. I see all 10 of them has been sent and delivered. So I can see all of them run here and all of them success here. The second workflow, the second flow that is basically delivering the text. Now let's see the output of it. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so this is the output of that it takes the first name, balance, and due, statement date, and the same for the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, and sixth, seventh, just like that. So it picked up correctly and sent the SMS. So the whole thing took like, I mean, compared to the custom development, it can do it has a similar capability, and it can basically deliver this business solution quickly or rapidly. So that's what I wanted to show. And if you have any questions.
Cool. That was an interesting session, Sudip. So now if anyone have any questions, you can just open your mic and then you can just ask the question, or else you can also just type in the chat. So we will take them. So we got another 7 to 10 minutes just to answer the questions.
Yeah. Hi, Sudip. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Why cannot we do this with Canvas apps? Is model-driven apps the only way we can do this?
No, so why I use the Canvas apps is more basically for the mobile or tablet. It is not a desktop application, right? And for me, it is really not important to create a model-driven app. But I wanted to show you why. Let me go back to this one. So the PDF is dropped, Unilink, and basically you remember from the previous one I said that I have to proofread it. So proofread is basically I have to store somewhere in the common data service, and if for that I need a schema, and a schema means the entity that can hold it. But Canvas app is basically not going to hold it. The model-driven app is going to hold it, the data for the proofread.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I get it. Yeah. Thanks.
No problem.
So this question is not exactly related to the problem statement you solved, but it is rather than related to now Dynamics 365 is totally based on model-driven apps, and it is now shifted to that Power Platform.
Correct.
So now all those workflows will be replaced by this Microsoft Flow, or how it will be going to, because there is a lot of like ambiguity this.
Yeah, I think we had the same question, and I think is so the way Microsoft is doing its planning is basically one point of time it is going to replace with the flow, and I'm also going to do. I don't know whether you guys are going to like it or not, but I was also thinking to give you a differentiation between workflow and the flow, and what is the capability of a workflow and what is the capability of flow, and how you can basically convert your workflows to a flow. So that is my next session. Maybe that will give you an answer to that one. I have already thought in mind. I have already prepared that, and I can present that in next session.
And adding to that, be replaced by Azure Functions.
Azure Function is basically for the Azure. So those are not related to this product. They are two different products.
So basically, mostly in the plugins, we have logic, which is related to business, some complex logic, or we are calling some integration API. In that case, only we are using plugins. Now now via this Azure Functions, we can connect to CDS and get all the data which is there regarding that Microsoft Dynamics 365.
Maybe I'm not. I have not prepared on the Azure function, so I cannot answer that, but maybe what you are saying, correct. But I'm pretty sure that Azure functions and this flow is two different product. They're not same product.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I was going through documents, and then Azure functions are now being used in Dynamics CRM. So that's why I was thinking about.
Any other questions from anyone else? Look like there are no other questions. Cool. So thanks, Sudip, for giving this wonderful session. I think there is a lot more to explore to this one. This is very quite interesting, I can see. And there is a lot more to explore when it's come to Power Platform and Flow and Azure apps, etc. So I'm expecting more section from you on this one. I know that you can just give more sessions on this one. And also, I would like to thank everyone for joining the session. Okay, so we'll have more sessions. So next session will be on November 2nd week. Okay, so we will be definitely reaching out to you with the emailer on that one. And also the recording of the session will be uploaded to YouTube in a day or two. So thanks once again for everyone. Have a good day. Good night. Take care, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sudip. Thanks, DGC team.
Yeah. Bye.